Hey y'all, it's Region 4 Outreach and Communications Coordinator Matt Cameron, and on this episode of Drop the Tailgate, I'm in my home county of Jefferson, and I'm with a young man, Landon Thomas, who is an athlete, he's an outdoorsman, and just a fine young man. Landon, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Glad to have you on here, man. Now, you and Cade, my son, played ball for a while, for a few years now, and got to know you. And your dad was a fine man, a great baseball coach, and he meant a lot to me. And I sure do miss him. And I know y'all hunted together a whole lot over the years. But what kind of hunting did y'all do?
Yeah, mainly just deer hunting. We did a little bit of turkey hunting, but mainly just deer hunting around, trying to work in between sports and all the other stuff going on during the fall.
Stayed pretty busy, I guess, running around playing ball, and y'all play travel ball a lot too, so you're running and gunning a whole lot. Play football too, don't you?
Yeah, I played linebacker at the high school.
Jefferson County Patriots, linebacker. What's your favorite sport?
I'd say it's seasonal. There's parts of some of it I like more than the other, but it's mainly just whatever's in season, I'd say.
I kind of like that too. You know, whatever is in hunting season is kind of what I like at the time, so I can relate to that. But Landon here unfortunately lost his dad, John, a few months ago, and not long after that he lost his papa, Johnny. And just been a tough go for this young man. And when Landon went out and killed his first solo deer, we put a post on our Facebook page about an empty seat in the woods, and it touched a lot of people, including Jimmy Kyle, and he's a taxidermist that we just had on the show not long ago talking about hunting mature bucks. And so Jimmy Kyle saw that post, Landon, about you taking your first deer by yourself and about being in the woods, you know, without your dad for the first time, and it meant a lot to him. So he wants to mount your deer, which is this buck right here, and we are going to take it over to Jimmy Kyle's, and Jimmy's going to show us how to cape this thing out and some do's and don'ts for deer hunters and taxidermy. But before we get to that, Landon, I want to hear a little bit about this hunt by yourself.
I got out there a little bit late because it was snowing this day that we got that snow, and I guess I didn't account for the frost on the truck. My mama had to come out and help me scrape off some of the ice, but spooked up a couple of does walking in there, and he actually walked back through the woods back there, back behind my house, and hunting out of an old school bus that's been up there. And he first walked through, and I couldn't really tell if it was a doe or a buck, but he's in a bunch of brush, and he came back through and saw his antlers and managed to shoot him.
Put him down.
Yeah.
Good deal, though. How did that make you feel, man?
It was a good moment. I mean, I guess it's something special for the biggest deer I've ever killed to be the first one by myself and without my dad, so I mean, it's a pretty good moment.
You know, did you and your dad hunt mostly here on the farm?
Yeah, it's mostly here on the farm, just mostly on, you know, holidays or days when we didn't have much going on.
Now, your deer's got a lot of character here, Landon. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, my personal favorite is probably this side right here with the long tine over here, just cause the length, and it's probably the longest antler on the deer that I've had. And then this other side, you a little bit of both, kind of the staggered and then the traditional. And it's probably the heaviest rack deer that I've ever killed by far.
He's definitely got a lot of character, man. I'm fascinated by him. He's gonna look good on the wall, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to talk to you about getting this thing out of the woods and getting the guts out of it. Now, I know your mom come out and did a little help on that.
Yeah, well, we had to call her out there and drive down the truck down there out in the back, and I'd say we struggled for probably a good volume, 30, 45 minutes trying to get him loaded up, but finally we had the idea to tie a rope around him, and she got up in the tailgate and pulled, and I got down the bottom, and we finally got him up in there. All
right, man. Anything else you want to say about your dad or hunting, or if your first experience by yourself?
I mean, I'd just say, you know, it's definitely different, but I mean, it's still hunting, and it's kind of calm and just get out in the woods, just be by yourself for a little while and hunt.
Looks like your dad taught you well, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, well, what do you say we take this thing over to Jimmy Kyle and he shows us how to get the hide off of it?
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it.
She almost got that deer.
Go up there and knock on the door, see if he's in here.
on in, man.
Jimmy.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Just sitting right there.
How about it, Jimmy Kyle?
Yeah. How are you?
Good, how are you?
How are you? Doing good, doing good.
How long you been hunting big deer like you got over?
I started when I was 9, and I wasn't hunting big deer, but I did miss 3 8-pointers first morning I ever hunted. That's when it all started. The first deer I killed was this one right here when I was 10. Killed him in Lincoln County, Tennessee. 2 weeks later, I killed this one on the draw hunted AEDC. All my deer, you know, some of them ain't as big as what I kill now, but they got memories. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Landon here brought me a good deer, and he's got to talking about maybe trying to hunt out of state next year. And if you're going to hunt outside of Tennessee, to be legal to bring one back, to have it mounted, you know, you've got to cape it out and just bring the skull cap back. So I'm going to show Landon how to go about caping one back and have it ready for the taxidermist tonight. And the first thing you do, you can probably go to a Hobby Lobby or somewhere and buy you a little cloth tape measure. And that's pretty important for a taxidermist, because if we don't know what the measurements are, we won't know what size form to mount it on. So the first measurements you want to get would be from the corner of the eye to the tip of the nose, and that's 7 1/4. And the second measurement you want is right under the jaw. And that's right at 19 1/2. So it'd be 7 1/4 by 19 1/2, and that'll give the taxidermist a good idea of what he needs to get to be able to mount the deer. Now, first thing I do is I make a V cut in the back, behind the horns. You want to go from the base of the horn down on both sides like a V, just right behind its ears. And then you're going to cut a straight line down to wherever you start skinning. And say if you're out of state and you're skinning your deer, the farther you can bring it down to the ears, makes it easier on the taxidermist. Also, you know, you're not sewing as much, so it looks better. But make sure you make your measurements before you get rid of that meat. You just take your scalpel, and those you can order them from taxidermy stores or medical stores. It's just a scalpel blade with I think it's a number 22 blade on it, you know, scalpel handle on the blade. You might have $10 and a handle and a 10 blades or something. You can carry them in your backpack, carry them in the woods, whatever. They're pretty handy. So you just want to part the hair like that and make your cut. And that way you can cut no hair. Cut down right behind the ear. Do it on that side too. Just take that and pull it up as far as it'll go. It's real important too. A lot of guys that bring me deer out of state, they butcher around the horn. I know it's hard for people that don't do it every day, but it's something you probably be better off taking your time with. Now you want to make a cut down to the meat where you quit. Now we're just going to peel that back on both sides. So come up around the ear butt and just start separating the skin from the hide, or the hide from the meat. Now we'll just peel down like that. And you want to go all the way around the neck, down the side of it. Alright, I get it about like that and come back up here. A lot of people can take a screwdriver right here and separate the hide from the horn. I'm not that strong in my hands. So I take a scalpel blade and I get as close as I can to the horn butt, and I go in instead of down. If you go down, you're going to cut the hide up, and when you go back to sew it, it might be a little loose around the horns. So you just try to go in. It's a slow process, I mean. And as that starts separating, you can cut through the ear. If you come straight down off the top of the skull, you can cut that ear off. And there's a bone there. You just come over the top of that bone. Just be careful not to go too far and cut back through the hide. Just go in as far as you can and down. Once you hit the bone, in and down. That should be ready to pop loose. Right there it is. So you're loose all the way around your horn now. And then everything I done here, you just do it on the next side.
Your wife got her a roadkill, didn't she? I saw that too.
First dude is killing her life. Got with a Honda, of course.
Alright, we've got a skin around the neck, the bottom of the neck, took both ears off, and around both horns. Now we're coming up to the eye, and this is a real important part. A lot of people cut the eye. The best thing to do is take your finger, put it right there at the corner of the eye, and then pull that back over, and you see where your finger's at. And there's about 3 layers of skin there. And you want to just cut real light against that eye socket bone and pull back real gentle. And as long as you stay next to that eye socket bone, you won't cut through the eye. Flip him over if you need to, however many times, because that's important. It's real hard to fix an eye. See, now you can see my finger underneath. So now that you know where your finger's at, you cut behind it and pull. Alright, now we got it past the eyes. What I do is I flip him up, straight up there. And if you take an old towel or whatever, wipe her nose down, wipe the blood off of it. Blood and water, anything that gets on the hide is not good for it. So you just try to keep them as clean as you can. You can pull his nose back, you can see his gum line. And you want to start as low as you can and come down that gum line, the corner of his mouth. Now when you get these about level with each other, you're going to cut, come up here where it shows the hide, and it goes hide, meat, hide. You want to cut down through that meat on both sides. Real careful till you get the hide. Just cut light. And what that will do is when you come back down from the top in a minute, that'll keep you from cutting through the corner of your mouth if you do it like that. Now, we're going to work back down from the top. So just start pulling down the bone on the nose. So now you got 2 more things to do before he's ready to put in a bag. You got to cut, to be legal in Tennessee, you got to cut the skull cap off, and you got to remove the brain liner. And you want to come about, and you can make this cut big, and the taxidermist can trim it up. But you want to be just right over the eye socket. And you want to cut in, straight in, and you want to come back here, the back of his head, about where it comes down off his skull, and you want to make that cut that you made. It helps if you got a sharp blade too. But now you got your skull cap. Okay, you want to shake the brains out of it. And what that leaves you with, and this is important because this is part of being legal, you got a brain liner here. And you have to remove that to be legal to get back across state line. You can sit there and dig on it for an hour, or you can take a paper towel peel the back of it, get a hold of it, and it'll peel right out. Now you're legal. And if I was a hunter, I'd probably just take what little meat is off. You know what's left, take it off. That way it won't stink on you on your way home. And you take some salt, just regular table salt, and put on that, and that'll dry that up. So there's your horns. It's legal now. And second thing I'd do, and it's up to whoever kills a deer, but it's a lot easier to keep half a hide cold than it is a full hide. And you know, right here's your front legs. A lot of guys will just come right here and cut that off. Well, that's not enough. Of these forms today that they make when you mount a deer, they're a lot bigger than they used to be. You know, a lot of detail around the shoulders and stuff. So what I do is I open that hide and I pull it, you know, I pull it straight. And you want, them front legs are cut off at the elbow. I make a line right behind those front legs and cut that hide. And if everything's right, that gives me more than enough to mount that deer. That's the parts you need for the taxidermist. And I take a black, so just get a bag, you know, big black trash bag. So if you put it in your cooler, you want to keep it on top. Just lay it in the bag and try to lay it like this in the cooler. You can fold it over if you ain't got a big cooler inside that bag, but I'd leave it open and let it get air. And I'd keep the drain plug open. So anytime your ice melts, the water goes out and your hide's not getting wet. When I get home, say if I get home, I'm gonna put it in the freezer. I take the ears and fold them in. I take this, fold it back over the ears, its mouth, and flip it over. And ball it up. And that keeps everything important inside where it won't get freezer burnt. All right, now we're gonna pick out how you want it mounted. You thought about that?
I was just guessing standard, just straight off, I guess.
You want it straight?
Yeah, because I think I'm probably going to put it in my room, and it's kind of like at the end of my bed, so I think just straight would do it.
Okay, like a semi-upright, it'd be like that deer over the Christmas tree, on the right side of the Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll
So
work.
straight.
Well, Landon, what'd you think about all that?
Oh, it's cool. I didn't know that all that went into skinning it. I never really went through the thought process of how it happens.
I'd say a lot of hunters have never done that. I've skinned a bunch, you know, just the head out because I was doing a European mount. You cut them off right here. You don't have to be careful with the hide, but to watch you take that thing apart and not make any, you know, cuts in it,
Right.
very important.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially for a hunter out of state, you know. It's a big deal now.
Well, that was a great tutorial there. You know, I hope that helps our out-of-state hunters. I know it helped me. I just got to kill one now. That's my problem. I can't get them on the ground, but when I do, I'll know how to handle it.
That's exactly right.
All right, well, Jimmy, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
You've been a blessing to me, and I know to Landon and to his family.
That's good. I hope he keeps hunting, and it's going to be hanging there on the wall for him to remember. And that's what it's all about. I mean, people look at him, it's hair and bones hanging on the wall. It's more than that. It's about memories, and you know, that's some of my most prized possessions. Not because of how big they are, but what went into it to killing it. So, you know, I heard Landon's story, and I just wanted it on his wall.
Well, we're honored to be here with it, and we just can't thank you enough.
It's awesome.
Landon, keep on hunting. Get another one.
Kill a big one.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, bring him back. Bring me another one.
I will.
Good.
All right, well, I hope you all have enjoyed this edition of Drop the Tailgate. Tune in next time for some more fun in the Tennessee Great Outdoors.